Hello everybody. So, not sure if this video will become its own video or if I will lump this into my April vlog. Sorry if I look quite tired. I just woke up. But today is April 11th and tomorrow is April 12th, which is actually not only the full moon, it is when the Sakura Matsuri festival is going on. So, that is something I'm going to actually go and attend with my family. So I'm very excited about that, which again is the whole reason why. We'll see if I turn this into its own video, just kind of talking about the experience. Maybe I'll throw in some art there at the same time, or this is just going to get lumped into my monthly vlog. We'll find out. But I'm very excited about it, but also a little worried because it is supposed to rain, but the festival is supposed to go on even if there's rain. I did buy a very cute umbrella for the occasion, so I'll probably have a clip of showing that umbrella at some point. The other thing I did get to add into my outfit is a special little backpack with all of my various pins. This isn't even my full collection of enamel pins, but I kind of made them a vibe on here. See if I can get the camera to focus. Barely focus. But yeah, you can kind of see it. I'll try to get a better video. But yeah, cute little backpack for the occasion because I will be trying to film a bit. So a backpack is just a little bit easier than a normal bag. Especially if I want to bring art supplies with me. That's a much easier thing to deal with. But yeah, so this is the little intro to that. Me looking very tired and talking about going to this festival. But yeah, we'll see how it goes and more clips to come. Alright, so let's jump into this journey to the Sakura Matsuri Festival, which is a Japanese street festival that takes place in Washington, D.C. on May 12th this year. And so we had like a 3-hour car ride up to D.C. And once we actually hit the city, we totally got lost and essentially went from one side of the city to the other side of the city looking for where the festival was because the GPS took us to the wrong location, not once, but twice. But we finally found where it was, and it basically was situated right near the National Gallery and smack dab in between the Washington Monument and the White House. So you'll actually see me showing that in some of my clips because we were walking right by it. But we basically got there right when things were kind of starting, especially the parade that they were putting on. So they were putting on a huge parade, and I actually kept in the audio for the clip of them starting to play some of the drums, which was pretty neat. So we're going to hit that in just a second. So I'll let that part roll. So yeah, there was a lot of different performers who were setting up, especially I liked these really bright yellow sparkly dresses that this one group was wearing. I thought that was pretty neat. But basically we had a little bit of to walk until we got to actually the front of where you checked in and where all the vendors and booths were. So we walked in there and there was a big stage off to the right there where people could come up and perform. There was a lot of cosplayers that were wandering around. And this section in particular was jam-packed with people, so it was a little overwhelming to walk through. And Mickey was definitely very overwhelmed by it. I was also kind of overwhelmed by it initially, but essentially we walked through this section. I mean, they shut down so much road space for this festival. It is huge. I can't emphasize that enough. It is very big, or at least one of the biggest festival, like street festivals I've been to. And it was really cool. There were so many different vendors, and especially in this beginning section was a lot of like, you know, you could find figurines, you could find some kind of cosplay stuff. I especially was excited when I saw a Hatsune Miku figure that I've had my eye on for years. I didn't buy it. I was working on saving my money, but I'm also not 100% sure if it was the legit figure or if it was a knockoff version, because it wasn't that expensive, but I could be wrong. But also the other great things, obviously we brought Mickey to this event, and there was lots of other dogs, but not as much as some areas over in Williamsburg. Like Dog Street is an area in Williamsburg where there's so many dogs that will be walking around. But we also had to stop at the Kieran booth, which had a nice long line to get a little drinky, a little libation to walk around and enjoy the festival with. So we got in that line. I got some sake while others got beer.
So he's a very
oh my god.
Oh, that's so cute. But yeah, the folks at that booth really liked Mickey a lot, and Mickey said hi to them. And the photographer who was at that booth took definitely a couple photos of him. So I wouldn't be surprised if those end up somewhere in the ether of the internet. But past that, you hit this sort of section where it was nothing but the food vendors. And there was actually a chef doing like a live demonstration, I think of making maybe kimchi. I'm not 100% sure. I can't really remember at this point, but yeah, there were so many food vendors. It was pretty wild. I wasn't necessarily expecting that, but I did not personally partake of any food. In fact, the only thing we did partake of was the libations. We didn't really stop because there were so many super long lines for the food vendors. Like, there were literally people holding up signs saying this is the end of the line, because this area was like the busiest spot other than the very entrance of the event that you had to walk through. So we were just kind of just checking it out. Honestly, like, it was all about the vibe and walking around and seeing everything. But yeah, it was definitely interesting to see all the different foods, and I make a little bit of a comment as I'm walking through.
I've smelled them all over the place.
All kinds of nice smells. Again, all the things I can't eat. All the things I can't get to eat. So yeah, made that comment about the food because I have allergies. But I also tried to take some clips of some of like the statues I saw around, and of course any dog that was walking around I tried to get a clip of, because we love dogs. Doggos are the best. They brighten the day for sure. And then the next two clips, we found a certain statue up in a building, and we just had to sit there and make some jokes about it. Oh my god. Oh, I see. I'm the cock whisperer. Oh, I think there's a wedding couple right there. You see that?
He just kept walking.
I'm the cock whisperer.
That's what I did. I'm like standing there.
So yeah, we just had to make that joke. If you don't find it funny, if you also don't know the reference, there is a creator over on like TikTok and Instagram who makes that joke and is actually talking about like real like chickens. It's like a whole skit. It's very funny if you haven't seen it before. But anyway, so we did run into this really beautiful Shibu, and Mickey was actually pretty friendly with him. Mickey is a little bit scared of other dogs because he was injured as a puppy by a larger dog, and that's how we even adopted him because he was surrendered because of his broken legs. So we always try to get him to socialize with other dogs just because, you know, he is a little skittish of them, but we want to try to help him to overcome that, and he's come a long way over the years. Especially when it comes to smaller dogs, he's usually a lot friendlier with them. We also saw a blue Power Ranger, of course. I also was really into the architecture that was around, very interesting stuff. And this part here, as we were walking, there was two people who were dressed up in like more traditional like military clothing from like different eras, and one of course was like the full-on samurai gear, which was so cool to see. And then I think the other one was more of a like more modern kind of time frame military outfit. I'm not a military outfit expert, but I do know the samurai, you know, armor stuff. I went and physically saw a lot of that stuff at a gallery exhibition not too long ago. I have it in a vlog somewhere. It was at the BMFA, so that was cool. We also were looking at a lot of like the wooden dolls. They had them all at a few different vendor spots, but they're really neat. And then next up, they had this really cute teeny tiny fire truck. If you've seen like K cars, it's kind of like that shape, and I think that's essentially what it is, but as a little fire truck. They also had like origami. They had bonsai trees there, which we stopped and looked at that. It was a very busy booth also. But the next part, as we're walking, we get to this intersection of buildings. We hear a live demonstration of kendo going on. So we definitely stopped and we watched that for a bit. So I hope you enjoy it this section.
Oh my god. Video.
Oh, no way.
It does hurt. And why? It does. It depends on the people. Ethan is powerful, strong, and he's taller. So when I receive his strike, yes, it does. It hurts, and I have an extra cushion inside that mask. But depending on the people, the more experienced, they use a tenochi called inside the palm that you can snap it, and it won't hurt as much.
Shoot, it's still.
Now let's see the kote strike. Kote ote. Okay, that was the cut to the wrist, and then do ote. Okay, and then this one is a thrust to the throat, and this is an advanced skill that's only allowed college and above in the United States. So, tsuki ote. Ouch. Okay, go ahead one more time. Okay, missed, but that's okay. That's a part of practice. All right, and so now we'll show you kirikaishi, which is a basic fundamental practice exercise that we do before and after the class. It has every element that you need to know, such as the posture, the cutting edge, the distance, kiai, spirit, etc., etc. So let's see Ethan's kirikaishi.
Mickey was being a goober and walking away.
So past where they had that demonstration going on was sort of the last section of the vendors. So And this area was a little bit less crowded because I don't think as many people were walking down there. I think more people were walking towards the other direction because that's where the food was. But we had some clothing vendors, some other little knickknacks, more statues that I recorded. And after that, we just walked back and we were very hungry. So we went on the search for a restaurant that would accommodate everybody's food needs, aka I have allergies and I need certain things. So we left, but before we completely walked back to where we had parked the car, which was a couple blocks away in a parking garage, because parking was a nightmare. It's DC. Parking is always a nightmare. But yeah, as we were walking out, we ended up stepping at the sculpture garden, and so we walked around there for a little second just to kind of check it out as we were actively still searching for a restaurant on our phones. So here are those clips. And so right here, this is an actual live bird. It is a robin that stopped there and I liked it. So I took a little clip of it. But yeah. So for food, we ended up driving over to what was the old naval shipyard that they turned into residential as well as restaurants. And we went to this really cool restaurant called Chloe. It actually had a Michelin, more than one Michelin star or something like that. Really good drinks, really good food. And our waiter was so nice and accommodating and helping with hey, this is what you can eat, this is what you can't eat, as far as my allergy related stuff. So it was great. We had a great time. And after that, we ended up doing the 3-hour drive back home. So yeah, we ended up actually going the back road because the highway was a total mess per the usual. So I hope you have enjoyed this little sort of side adventure vlog, and definitely stay tuned for my next video. Check out all the links down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.